Well, good morning. I am Romanda Noble Watson, the Director of Communications and Public Relations for the South Carolina High School League. And it is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you into the 2025 Girls Tennis State Finalist Press Conference. With me this morning, we have coaches and representatives and players competing for the Class 2A and 3A state finals. Also, your greetings on behalf of Commissioner Singleton, who has another meeting at this time, but he brings you well wishes, safe travels as you come to the state finals. From Class 2A, we have Landrum High School, who is coached by Brad Harden, and today's representative is the Athletics Director, Alex Smith. Good morning, AD Smith.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. Please introduce us to your student athletes.
Yes, so to my left, I have Eva Burnett, and to my right, I have Olivia Di Nicola.
Thank you so much. And they'll be competing against Academic Magnet High School, coached by Mark Burst. Coach Burst, your student athletes, please.
Yes, this is Sophia Easterbrook, and this is Maggie Schwartz.
Thank you and welcome in, welcome in. And from Class 3A, we have Oceanside Collegiate Academy, who is coached by Sean Harris, and represented today by Assistant Athletics Director Brooks Barano. Brooks, please introduce us to your student athletes you have there.
Yes, we have Ellery Besta to my right, and then Addie Levy to my left.
All right. And finally, we have Christ Church Episcopal School, coached by Ray Sobosinski. Coach, please introduce us to your student athletes.
Yes, today I have senior Lexi Sobosinski and sophomore Lydia Mafu.
Right. Thank you so very much. Oh, I thought I lost my players from Academic Magnet for a minute. Okay. All right, thank you so much for those introductions. And we will begin the formal portion of our press conference by having each coach or representative give us a synopsis of their team's season. And we will start with Class 3A, and we will start with Assistant AD Barano. Can you tell us, how did Oceanside manage to make it to the state finals?
Yeah, we've had another good year. It's been really driven by a bunch of underclassmen and juniors, with both Ellery and Addie being juniors. Then we only have one senior on the team. So a little different than last year. I know we were a little more senior heavy last year with, I think, our top three seeds being seniors. They all graduated and went to go play college somewhere else. So it took Addie and Ellery's leadership as juniors to be able to get all the underclassmen up to what Oceanside tennis standards has been. So we've had a good year, played a lot of good competition, and we're looking forward to another rematch against Christ Church on Saturday.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for filling in for Coach Harris, who couldn't be with us today. And so, as you mentioned, you'll be facing off against Christ Church. And Coach Tobasinski, can you please give us a synopsis of your season, how you made it back to the state finals?
Absolutely. Last year we had a 5-hour battle with Oceanside. They came up with the victory. And so we started out this season with one goal, to have the chance to play them again. So we have basically the same kind of scenario they do. We lost 5 seniors. All 5 were in our lineup at state championship. So this year we've got a younger team led by Lexi Sobosinski and Caroline Bruner. Lexi is the senior. She played every match, pulled out every match, and we went to the Bishop England tournament in September, had a great competition down there. We actually played Academic Magnet there. We've built some great friendships with Wanda, Bishop England. We always love that tournament. So we've also played every single difficult team that we could possibly play in the upstate. We have great rapport with all the coaches and their players. So it's been a fun ride for us, and we've just been grateful for all the teams that we've gotten to play.
Thank you so much, Coach Sobosinski. And so now we will hear from our coach and representative of Class 2A, and we will start with Landrum and AD Alex Smith.
Yeah, so I mean, this group has been incredible to be around. I get to go to a lot of tennis matches, which has become one of my favorite things to do. They had a great season this year, going 21-1. They being around them is just, it's really it's really encouraging because they have a lot of great leadership, not just from seniors, but from freshmen, all the, sophomores, juniors. They're all incredible. They work well together. And I remember, having the opportunity to go down to the state championship last year against Academic Magnet, great program too. And to be able to play that match and then hear Coach Harden talk about, how our goal going forward was to reach that, that culmination of our season every year. I mean, that is the standard that he wants to set. And I feel like these girls have really bought into that. They work tirelessly, relentlessly at that pursuit. And it's been incredible to be around. And so we're really excited to be back again for another chance at a state title.
All right, thank you so much, A.D. Smith. And now we will hear from Academic Magnet and Coach Mark Burst.
Yeah. Hi, this is Mark Borst. It's my first year at Academic Magnet, but I used to coach in St. Louis, Missouri for 17 years, boys and girls, high school tennis. And I always told my ADs, to be the best is you play the best. And I have a great senior captain, Sophia Easterbrook, and I also have Maggie Schwartz. We're a very, very young team, only one senior in my top 7 with Sophia. We went 17-6, and probably the best memorable part of this season was playing the Bishop England tournament. We played, Christ Church with a great program. We played Oceanside twice this year. We beat Wando one time. We played them 3 times. They're a very good team. But the whole point is the girls really bought into my system. They're such a hardworking team, and we're very young. And they just try. Our motto this year was to be 1% better in the classroom each day, 1% better on the tennis court each day. And they put in a lot of hard work. So I'm really proud that we've gotten to the state championship, and we'll just see how it goes on Saturday. Landrum is a very good program. We look forward to the challenge.
Thank you so much, Coach Borst, and my apologies for mispronouncing your name the first time. All right, thank you so much. So now let's talk with the student athletes, and we'll stay with Class 2A, and we'll go back to Landrum. And so, Olivia, what goals did you all have set for your team this year?
I think our biggest goal was mainly just to try to get back to state because I think our team, we lost, I think it was it 2 in our starting lineup? And I think we were still a fairly young team. We have 3 seniors in our starting lineup this year, but our main goal was just to get back and try at another state title.
All right, thank you so much. And Eva, what about would you say this team stood out the most to you to help you find that success to make it back to the States?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's just tennis is just such a mental game, and we just had to get our mind right this year coming back, and we've been able to do that. We've had theme nights, we did neon night and Hawaiian night. It's just been really great to build our relationships with the team, and I think that'll really stand out when we go back this Saturday.
All right, relationship off the court leading to success on the court. That's very good to hear. All right, so sit tight for me as I head to your opponents in Academic Magnet. And so, Maggie, what does it mean for you to get here and have the opportunity to play for another state championship?
It's really exciting. I'm so glad I get to support my team and help them gain their goal of course, winning state. But it's great that we made it here.
Okay, and so Sophia, as you playing your last match as a tennis player, Academic Magnet, what has been on the team there taught you that you would take after high school?
I've truly learned that pressure is a privilege in all scenarios that I'm put in. I have such a wonderful team who supports me in every way. We're very young, but I just see so much growth in all the girls, and it really inspires growth in me. So I just can't wait to take that to college with me and hold our memories forever.
All right, that is great. Thank you so much, athletes. And so from 2A, and now we're going to hear from the athletes in Class 3A. And so we'll begin with Christ Church, and we will begin with Lydia. As you head into the biggest match of the season, what does representing your school at the state finals mean to you personally and to your team as a whole?
It's very exciting. We have a great team bonding and relationship, and I think it would mean a lot to come home with a win.
All right. And so, and now Lexi, what are you most looking forward to in playing at the States?
I'm looking forward to being surrounded by my team and their families because every time I step out on the court, the reason I want to win and play so hard is because I know I have everyone there cheering for me and believing in me.
Oh, that is great to hear. So now for Oceanside athletes and Ellery, I will ask you the same question I just asked your opponent. And what are you most looking forward to about playing in the States?
This weekend, I'm excited to play our opponents. I think it'll be a really good match. I'm excited that we are willing to play another fifth year in a row at States and hopefully just have a good match. I think our team this year is really well coordinated and we have a lot of new girls on our team and I think the team bonding has been really nice. So I'm excited to take it to States this year.
That's great to hear. And so finally, Addie, what would you say has been the highlight for your season, other than, of course, making it to the state finals again? What would you say is the highlight of your season?
I feel like the highlight has been like our team really feeling like united this year because like the age range this year isn't that far like apart. We like really bond a lot outside of tennis and like have fun doing things besides like just matches and then it like brings us together closer on the court.
Thank you so much. And thank you, athletes, for those answers and giving our viewers some insight. So I'm gonna go back to the coaches and the athletic representatives with this one final question. What would you say was a turning point, or if the representatives, if you're aware, what match in the season led you believe that, hey, we can do this, and for some, do it again? And so I will start with AD Smith. I know you say you've been around the tennis team a lot this year, so you've seen them grow throughout the year. If you can recall, what match was it that you saw was like, oh, these girls they ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's kind of been, from the start, it's been so much fun to watch, but I kind of cheated a little bit. I kind of leaned over to both of them, but, I would definitely think that Southside Christian matchup, that is such a great program and such a story program. And to go over there to their place and get a win. And, that really, there was a different look about our group after that. They practiced a little bit different. They carried themselves a little bit different. And so I think that was kind of the turning moment where they started to believe in themselves a little bit more, that maybe this is a real possibility again this year.
Okay, thank you so much. And so, Coach Borst, what I know you say you were new, this is your first year with the program. At what point did you realize that your team had gelled enough to get on the path to come into states?
The Bishop England tournament, unbelievable competition. I was so happy we signed up for it. Losing to Christchurch, we lost 4-2, but the matches were so close and really hard fought. And I was just so proud. And, again, being new, I didn't realize like some of these teams we played had multiple state championships. And we're relatively new and stuff. So I just love how we competed so hard. And I could just tell from, that match and Hilton Head, I said, these girls are ready. I mean, they're ready for the next level. So, yeah, I would say the Bishop England tournament really turned things, positive, and we're ready to go.
All right, thank you for sharing that. And so I'm gonna go to class 3A and assistant AD Barano. I know you followed your team, so let me know what did you see as not as a coach, but as a spectator and a supporter. Where do you have a game, or I mean, I'm sorry, a match that led you to believe, hey, we're headed back there. We may be headed back there.
Yeah, a lot like I mentioned earlier, younger teams, so newer girls getting thrown into the spotlight where maybe they didn't play as much last year, but now they're
Right.
playing in very meaningful matches this year. I know Ellery had a particular match at the Bishop England tournament where she was down 5-1 and came all the way back to win 7-5. And
Wow.
her match was the only one going at that time. And all the other girls had come over to cheer her on during that match. And it just felt like the team really gelled after that match and then took everything forward through the rest of the season there and through the playoffs. And then hopefully girls will still be gelled and cheering each other on this Saturday.
All right. And so finally, Coach Sobocinski, can you bring us home and tell us, and it could have been the beginning of the season or midway through, when did you realize that you'll be headed back to state finals?
That's a great question. I'd have to say, we played T.O. Hanna early in the season and having such a young team, we've got a seventh grader, got eighth grader, ninth graders, the gamut. To see them play at T.O. Hanna, which is a super strong team up here, we battled them for 4 hours and we came up with the win in early September. And then we got to go to Bishop England and play, you know, the cream of the low country. And we, our only loss of the whole season was to Wando, and it was, I think, 3-4. So I feel like the Bishop England really kind of sealed the deal in my mind that we had a really good chance of getting there, and we're super excited to get to play Oceanside again. They've always been great competition, so we're looking forward to just a great competition with them.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, coaches and representatives. And I am going to applaud my representatives who stepped in for us when coaches couldn't be in and did a wonderful job, of course. So now is the fun time. So here we go. The question that I have is the same question as last year for coaches who are for coach who's returning, but it is if this is for the coach and then athletes, I'll come to you afterwards. What is do you have a pre-match or post-match meal that you have to have before you get into your huddle with your team? And we'll start with, let's start with 3A. I'll go with 3A first. And so Coach Sobocinski, I'm gonna start with you. What is it that you have to have before you get your girls riled up?
Well, we have great parents that always feed us really well. So they fed us healthy. But I think what we typically have is some subs from Jimmy John's or somewhere like that that's just really healthy and not loaded with a bunch of junk. So
Okay.
we have that. I would say that's probably what my pregame meal is.
All right. Okay, Assistant AD Barano, what do you before you go and sit in the stands and cheer on your girls? What are you gonna have to snack on?
I think I said this last year. I'm not really particular on a certain meal. It's pretty much whatever fast food restaurant's on the right. That's easier to get in and out of and keep it moving. So I know typically when we play in Columbia, me and our athletic director, Coach Meyer, will typically stop in Orangeburg somewhere. It's kind of a good halfway point, whether it's Bojangles or Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's.
Okay.
Those are typically the main three. So just something quick and easy and keep it moving.
All right. So now we're gonna go to our class 2A and we're gonna start with Coach Borst. Welcome to the party. So we're gonna find out what Coach Borst had to eat.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
Yes,
hands down.
hands down.
All right. All right, AD Smith. What are you snacking on as you're watching this team that you just fell in love with?
Yeah, so before the match starts, I usually try to swing up to our local coffee shop. Shout out to Buck and Brew. Give me a little cup of coffee beforehand because I like to stay awake during the match. But our parents do a great job of providing snacks and stuff for our kids during the game. So I may or may not meander over there and grab a cookie or an apple. Let's be serious. I'm not grabbing an apple, but all the other good stuff that they bring. Our parents do a great job taking care of it.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna grab an apple either, but hey. All right, thank you for sharing that with us. So now I'm back to our student athletes, and you have a two-parter. In this question, I'm gonna read the question first. It is, when did you start playing tennis and why tennis? At what age did you start playing tennis and why tennis? And we're gonna go to Oceanside first, and I'll go with Addie.
I started playing tennis when I was little, like 5 or 6, and I played a ton of other sports, but I think as I grew older, I was just more drawn to tennis than all my other sports. So yeah.
Okay. All right, Ellery.
I started playing when I was either 10 or 11. Just as Addie, I was playing tons of other sports. Tennis just kind of drew me in because my mom and my sister played it, and I just started falling in love with it the more I just kept going. So
All right, and we're going to go to Christchurch, and I'm guessing since Lexi's last name is Sobocinski, and I'm gonna guess and say, well, I'm gonna let you tell him. I'm gonna let you tell him. At what age did you start playing tennis and why?
I started playing tennis when I was 3 or 4, and my mom's always played tennis, and also all of my siblings grew up taking lessons, so I kind of fell into that, and I kept playing because the coaches I had really made like impacts on me and just built really good relationships.
All righty. And Lydia?
I started playing when I was about 5, and I also played like a lot of other sports, and tennis kind of drew me in because it was a sport I felt like I could compete in the most.
Okay. All right. And so now we're going to go to 2A and we're going to go back to Landrum. And Miss Eva, when did you start playing tennis and why?
I started playing in 7th grade. We have some cousins that play at the other school in our district, and I was really inspired by them. They went to state a couple times too. Yeah, I really love how tennis is just such a mental game, and it's just different from all the other sports. It's individual, kind of like track, I guess. But that's
Mhm.
when I started playing.
Absolutely. Okay, Olivia?
I started when I was about 13 years old, and I think my reason for starting was because my dad played in high school, and so he always spoke so highly of the sport and talked about how much he enjoyed it. And I'll be honest, I played so many different sports when I was little, but tennis was the only thing that really stuck, because it was kind of one of those things that once I started, I just really fell in love with it. And I realized that I could do this and play with my family and go and play
Right.
with friends. And you can be at all kinds of different levels at the sport and still have fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And so finally, we're going to go to Academic Magnet. And I am going to start with Maggie. When did you start playing tennis and why?
I started playing tennis around kindergarten, I think, and I played a lot because I could walk to the tennis courts from my house. So that really drew me in, and as I kept playing, I kept getting better and fell in love with the sport.
All right. And so finally, Sophia, close us out. When did you start playing and why?
I started playing tennis when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My grandfather was very good at it, and he had a tennis court next to his condo. So I would always go out there with him in my little pink Wilson shoes, and I played with my brother as well. And so that just drew me in, and I've just been obsessed with it ever since.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing when you started and why you started. So that's all I have for the coaches and coaches, representatives, and athletes. But before we close, let's tell our viewers and your fans how they can catch you. All 5 of the girls' tennis state finals will be this Saturday, November 8th, at the Casey Tennis and Fitness Center in Casey, South Carolina. These classes, 2A and 3A, will have a 12 p.m. first serve. Tickets are $10. Kids 5 and under is free, and we encourage fans to purchase digital tickets at gofan.co. However, cash will be accepted at the gate. Once again, thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to join me just for a little while, and thank you for viewing, and this does end our press conference. Good luck, safe travels to Casey on